Sometimes I'll hide here. I'll dance around between these two. It draws the archers out. The archers will disarm you. So in this case, there's really just no need to have the weapon out. And this is where melee gets really torn up doing this. Because if you focus in on melee and you have 10 or 15 archers pop up, you're going to be disarmed. That's it. And then you're trying to get through all the mobs to find your weapons to fight. It's just a disaster waiting to happen. It's a soup sandwich. So let's get this done and see what we get. So after about an hour and 10 minutes, we're set up and ready to go. See? Archers hitting me. Come over here for a minute. When you do this, at least in this game, when you do it, you pause. So I'm going to pour those points into my into here. Up my mana a bit. This is what I mean. They will if I put out all 25. I have to hide behind the rock. Gotta get rid of those archers. If you don't get rid of those archers, then you're just screwed. And this is where having loads and loads of mana comes in handy. The initial starting sequence, as you see, I probably only should have put down 10. But you notice at this point I've leveled twice now. There we go. Remember, a night only lasts 6.5 minutes, so whatever you cannot kill in that amount of time disappears at sunrise. So putting a lot out where you're going to be overran and possibly lose out on your time as well is just not productive. You notice all the other guys are gone. It's now getting daylight. During the day, I harvest my fireballs. Then at night, I will come back and up all my scores and everything. And in between all of that, I'm dropping back at this guy. I'm looking for bonus cards, usable items, and there we go. At that point, I want to go back. Whoops. I want want to go finish cleaning my stuff. There's a destroy undead. We'll keep you. There's a concentration. We'll keep you. We're now at over 4,600, so we can start stacking these other cards. We're still short on bonus cards. We still need 5. We need 8 more mana, 10 more spell boosters, 5 more damage. The duration, 4 is more than enough for your concentration. That'll come in later. We'll deal with more of that in the next part. And so that should, now you know how to do your farming, your fireball farming, your
let's have a look.
Leveling, all of that. Once I get this up some, then we will 2 stones, 5 brains, more than enough. I could use 3 brains and get the same, but I'm going to use all of it. And our mana is now 1,222, and from that cycle 6 minutes ago we started with 500. I believe it was 500 and change. So there's that. Let me continue onward with this, and we'll pick up with this in the next section. So, armor and rings. What I like to do is only stack attributes. Okay, I've got some higher level ones, and you'll see I'll have like a mana, willpower, and strength, vitality, mana, willpower, whatever. But I only stack attributes in here, because if you start getting into the protection against this or damage, attack damage, and so on, you can stunt your stackability. If you keep it all with just these, then you can almost stack them indefinitely and build your stats up. The same applies for armor. If you're going to, and watch it, they'll sneak it in on you. You've got to really read before you buy and put the stuff on. You only want to make sure that if you're putting anything additional into your armor or your weapons, okay, that it is only attributes. We do not want anything with fire damage, elemental damage, protection, none of that when it comes to weapons and armor. We want it straight. If it's got a attribute for one of these 4, then we can add it. But remember, you're only going to be able to put 3 of those items on any particular set of armor. 3 of those items on any particular weapon. It stacks up if it's got fire damage, protection from this, or whatever. So we want to avoid that. Later, we will start putting damage stones on our weapons. And I do Florentine, which is two-handed dual weapons. So I'll have spirit damage on one. I will have electrical damage or lightning damage on my second sword. And then I'll have a bludgeon weapon, which will typically have cold damage. I found poison and fire under my spell combinations and so on is basically useless. So, things to remember with rings, weapons, armor, only put on stuff that's pure with no additional bonuses, or the only bonuses that they have is attribute bonuses. Otherwise, you're going to stunt your building, and then you're going to have problems. At level 30, you start getting Golden Pride, and Necro Armored Trousers. You want to start stacking these. These drop fairly regularly. You can buy them fairly regularly, more so than a lot of the other higher tier stuff. So if you start stacking it, you will eventually wind up with better gear at your higher level than you would be if you were trading up gear. The fire mask is temporary. There is another one that goes with this set, which is really nice as well. But again, your armor is going to be up to you, what you prefer, what style you're building your character for. I just like this particular visual effect, and it still allows me to continually build. So that's it on those. Alright, now it's time to play with the big boys. We're at level 21. You already notice I'm getting Golden Pride armor dropping for level 24. Golden Pride and Necro trousers are some of the most easily obtained. So as soon as this stuff starts dropping, I start grabbing it to stack it later. Okay? It's just, it'll show up regularly at merchants and everything else, especially once you hit level 30. So long term, the Golden Pride armor, the Necro trousers, these will give you a higher armor count over the long term than waiting to level 30, 40, or 50 for some of the other stuff that's dropping that's slightly higher in stats, but does not drop or is able to be picked up as regularly. We currently have accumulated 46 fireballs, 5 destroy undead, and 36 poison darts from our farming. Half of these bonus cards have come from drops while scavenging or grinding for fireballs. So that's a money saver overall right here. We're going to be using Fireball and Destroy Undead on this scenario. We currently have 2,600 mana. The problem is we're using 400 mana for Fireball and 94 mana. So we're actually about 1,000 points under what I would consider a safe zone or a safe margin for dealing with these guys. However, I am confident enough that I can pull it off and be able to show you how this works. So, it's getting dark. We're going to save. And let's make it happen, Captain. Remember, those archers will, if you have a weapon out, they're going to disarm you. So, be aware of that. We're going to start off with Destroy Undead and see what comes out. It's a random...
That's interesting.
It is a random selection of what will show up.
Take that.
That bear... we got those archers now. Fireball will take care of the mass. We need to take care of these archers. Alright, now we're back down. We're going to take care of some undead. Back around, refill. Alright, they're starting to so I've got to move around. I need to drive them away so I can pick up those archers. Notice the archers will hide behind the mobs. They literally will get behind the other mobs and shoot through them. For such an old game, it's definitely... There we go. Now we have everything under management. Push him away from me. I think I've got an archer hiding out there. Nope, I may have gotten him. And that, boys and girls, is how you do it. Then we'll collect everything up. As I said, lots of archers. So, let me get all this cleaned up and we'll see what we've got and go from there.